What makes relationships last?
Our relationship has had its ups and downs, but what we've found is good communication holds everything together.
We decided to dedicate time every week to not only strengthen our relationship, but stimulate personal growth.
Strong relationships are built on strong communication.
Welcome to Date Night Conversations.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Date Night Conversations. I'm Chantel.
And I'm Greg.
And in this video, we're going to ask each other 3 random questions we have never asked each other before.
And guys, every time I'm so looking forward to these questions. They always take us off into like random conversations.
And you get to think about things you have never thought of before, and it kind of really gets your mind going. I really appreciate that.
Sometimes we got to just talk it out because we're not sure the answer.
Yeah.
And then you come to a conclusion, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, you ready to get into it?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Okay, so...
You go first.
I'm first.
Yeah.
Okay. So exciting. First question. What was your favorite subject in school?
Do we count all of school? Like high school, college, elementary school?
Yeah, right? Why don't we decide now what we'll classify that as? Because is it more interesting to know what it was growing up or what it was post-secondary?
Let's just talk it out.
Okay.
When you ask me what was my favorite subject,
Yeah.
I right away go to physics.
I knew you were going to say that.
High school physics. This is one of those classes that I just sort of took to, and I think the teacher was amazing. I can totally picture him in my mind, Mr. Park, and he was just really interactive with the class. And it made it so much fun. So it was actually just doing experiments to see the actual laws in action. So it just made everything make sense. And there's problem solving and math pulled into it and everything. I found it really interesting. You know how sometimes you'll say you have to like really work or really study to get through a course? That one, everything, I just soaked it right up.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, that was the only class that I can actually say I took it to that extent. At midterm, I had 102 because I got all the bonus questions right.
Nice. I could not do physics. Okay, so I'll just tell you that right now. So I think the fact that you're getting 102 shows like the type of thinker you are. Because that's really analytical thinking.
I'm, like we're building bridges out of straws and stuff.
Oh wow. But like
in class we're like, who can make a track that lets the ball roll the longest?
I think,
or stay in motion the longest. And it's just like random things like that we're learning.
I think you have an appreciation of another understanding to enjoy something like physics, because my mind couldn't put together those equations. I'd have a really tough time.
Really?
Yes, I would. Where you're like, oh my gosh, just building bridges is so easy, but you're learning an equation. Like they already taught you the theoretical part of it, and now you're doing practical. So you guys can kind of see it both ways, whereas I can only see it one way, and you try to tell me I may see it that way, but I'll never understand. And it's just like,
I think it's mindset.
Absolutely is.
If you wanted to, but that's just it. You would have to want to. It's just not something that comes naturally. I totally get that. Okay.
It's not. Okay, so my favorite subject?
Babe.
I really didn't have a subject.
He set up tuning forks.
Oh.
One on this counter and one on the counter over there. And he taps it, puts it in the stand. You stop it, and that one's vibrating. The sound wave travels through the air and it has the same resonant frequency, so it picks it up and starts vibrating.
That's so interesting.
It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't find that interesting? Like
Not
to be in
back
class and actually see that
then.
happening?
Not for me back then, no.
Really?
Yeah. Would you find dance back then when you were taking physics?
Dance?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Is that your subject then?
I think so. Because I'm looking at something that I did well in, and dance was one of them, because you had your theoretical component and then you had the practical application. So if we're studying the unit of ballet, you learn the founders, you learn people who really did well in that genre.
You remember this stuff.
Yeah,
The
but I
fact
don't
that you even
remember like the people. I just remember studying units, and then you
Okay.
do jazz, and then you do tap, then you do hip hop. And I really liked that. I like both. So I think I would say dance, and I was in high school. Academically, I had to work. Things didn't just come easy. I had to study. Studying would depend on how I felt. Whereas now it doesn't matter how I feel. I'm always studying on my own. So it's really different.
It's like have to versus want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was so excited for physics. Like when you actually have a class you look forward to, like what are we doing today?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how learning should be.
It
And
really
I know
should.
that so many kids are like, oh my god, I can't stand this. And you're just forced to learn all this other stuff that you have no interest in and will never use.
Yeah. I think Jasmine's kind of going through that right now.
It's
Virtual
so
learning.
true.
Yeah.
It's so true because sometimes she'll be right there involved, and as soon as it starts drifting in something she has no interest in,
Yeah.
she cannot pay attention.
Yeah, that is so true.
Or she'll just be doing randomness and pretend like she's doing work.
Yeah.
And
I
she'll
feel-
hold it up to the teacher and like,
Like, Jasmine, why are you bringing that
up?
I'm thinking when I was like in elementary school, gym might have been my favorite subject. Just the fact that you get to be active.
Gym. That would have been my
You know what I
second.
mean? Your second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Gym's always
Yeah, you
good.
get me? Yeah. So
There's some
as
people
long
I'm
as
sure that
moving.
couldn't stand gym.
I remember some people that just weren't good at gym. Like they just
Yeah,
you know,
right?
they're not athletic. So it's
So
just like
to you and I, that was a subject that we did easily.
yeah.
It just came to us. It wasn't work. We looked forward to gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Should we throw it back to
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to throw it back to you. Let's read the question one more time.
What was your favorite subject in school? Any school. I think any level counts.
Yes. All right, guys. You know what to do. Drop a comment down below. All right. So we're moving to question number 2.
Question 2. What does your 5-year plan look like?
I feel like we always answer some of these questions in a way.
Yeah, this sounds similar to something that's come up previously.
Yeah. So my 5-year plan looks like I've obtained a lot of my goals that I talked to you guys about on here. So, you know, we're kind of really well enriched in entrepreneurship. We're giving back to the community. We're continuing to live life for a living. We're in a different house, a different environment. That could mean like a different country. We're just really successful, and I think my definition of success is happiness and where we want to be. Things that we plan on working towards that we know is like, oh my goodness, this is where we saw ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We are here. And in 5 years, I think we will already be there, but that's what it looks like in 5 years. We will definitely have transcended into what we wanted to.
A different version of where we are now.
If that's even better, exactly. You always say it right. I absolutely think so.
Yeah, there's so much that we're working towards right now and just have sort of our own, I don't even like to call it goals because it's just continuous progress. There is no, we got to get to this. It's just watching everything evolve and grow as we go.
Right.
As new ideas, and then just everything it's built on and evolved, like it keeps.
I was going to say, like, you're just building on the ideas.
Yeah.
And like going with that, which is really exciting and exhilarating.
Yeah. If you have an idea and you don't know how to start, just start with
something.
wherever you are, and it will evolve into what it's meant to be.
Because oftentimes I remember I had an idea and I was going for it. Before I actually executed the plan, I found that I was trying to write the plan, and that can never really be written. There's no strategic way.
When you do it like they're trying to figure out the how.
Yeah.
And
it's like, okay, yeah.
If you try and base it on how you want it to happen, I think you have to really open stuff up and look at the end goal and just start working towards
the end goal. Like, where do you want to be?
Again, we're saying an end goal. It's not, it'll be a milestone because you know that when you get there, that's just a next kicking off point.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want to stay there.
Right.
You're going to want to keep going.
So it's like, we'll get to this and I like to see that, and then we'll get to this. And that's the progression. When you have that in mind and you just start working towards that, I think things start to fall into place.
Absolutely.
You know what you want. It's like, you know the dream and you go after that dream. But don't worry about how you get to that dream. Yeah. This is a perfect example. So when I resigned from a job, the owner, he was really trying to hold me there. And he knows how to talk. And it was like making me feel it in here. Like, I don't like having those conversations. But I said, like, he asked me, what's the dream job? I said, the dream job is being able to work from my computer and be anywhere, doing anything on my own time, on my own schedule, and being successful.
Right.
At that time, I was a personal trainer, And I saw it as like coaching people online or doing something like that online.
Yeah, okay.
Because that was thinking of how. Like what I really want is the freedom to set my own schedule, to make my own income, to not have a boss to answer to.
Absolutely.
I get to run my own life. I get the freedom, the choice. That's what I want. And then here we are. And I never would have imagined doing this.
So would you say that you kind of almost manifested that?
Well, that's exactly what it is, right?
Okay.
Because as soon as I let go of the how and just started messing around with it, like let's just get started, and things just sort of fall into place.
Good for you.
I started doing a website, and then the website's like, you know what? If I'm going to show people how to do this exercise, I'd rather just show myself. How do I do that? YouTube. So I start playing with YouTube, and then here we are. That evolved into this.
Wow. That's a crazy evolution. Yes,
Yeah.
I do. That's like amazing. For you, you should be so proud of yourself.
So, and I'm
it's
just
only
really
the
excited
beginning.
because exactly
Only the
how much has
beginning.
happened in such a short time frame as soon as I started doing that thing that I wanted to do.
That's amazing.
And then, because you're excited about it every time you're working on it, and you give it a different energy, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel that.
Okay, that's the 5-year plan. Keep doing what we're doing, because in the 1 year that we've been doing it, look how much has happened.
Just
So
opening doors,
multiply-
opportunities
the
after
doors, that's what I
opportunities.
talk about all the time. When you have a dream, the best way to start moving in that direction is by opening doors.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as just talking to somebody who might have knowledge in.
Yeah.
And like shooting an email. Like
That's
just,
how you learn and grow.
yeah.
Learn and grow.
And then it just starts building, and you're literally opening doors everywhere. Just dropping a line, someone recognizes your name now or thinks about you, and it happens.
Yeah.
Now people start reaching out to us.
It's amazing.
Like as soon as you start opening the doors,
you're
like,
networking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can somebody find you if they don't even know you exist?
Yeah. And that's why some people will put themselves out there, because they're like, you know what? In order to do that, I need to put myself out there, essentially.
Jim Carrey said that.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to be seen.
You have to be seen to make change, because you are what the world needs. The world always needs new ideas and innovation. And you are that. And stop thinking when you come to yourself with an idea that, well, why hasn't that been done already?
People talk themselves out of it. They think of an idea and they're like, and then they'll just say all the reasons why it won't work.
You can't do that.
Yeah, it hasn't been done. There's got to be a reason. And they just walk away.
And even if it has been done, you are you. No one's like you. So even if Greg did it, when you do it, it's going to be different. It's going to have a different flavor to it. And people gravitate to all different types of flavors. So don't worry about who's done it, who didn't do it, who should have done it. If the idea came to you, that was meant for you. You go after it. No questions asked. You know what I mean?
In the same context, Jim Carrey said, people try so hard to fit in that they become invisible.
Aww. Yeah,
and when you think about it, the reality of that, you just want to fit in, you just want to be accepted, and then you just become blended in with the mix. But it's the people who actually do something for themselves that stand out. You know what? It's real, because I think everybody has some kind of dream, something they'd really like to pursue. There's something in there that they think, you know what, it would be really awesome to whatever that is.
Yeah.
And they don't do that for whatever reason. Do people say, I don't have a dream, what I'm doing right now is my dream?
If you can think of them, they exist. Yes.
It's so true. Okay, I'd still like to converse with that person that could just be like, this is good. And they have no interest in doing anything other than this.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right?
I'm sure.
And I'd like to hear how awesome this is, because that's how they must see it.
Yes. And you see things through a different lens. Your eyes are different.
Here's what I'm saying. But it'd be interesting to talk to that person.
Yes, it would be, because you guys will be very different. It's the contrast. That's going to show you where you're not comfortable.
But no, I think I have a huge appreciation for that person.
Yes, because they made you understand that you want to be in a different place. Like, I want to go beyond that.
But what if he talks me into that?
He couldn't.
How do you know?
Because it's all about how you feel.
You have no idea, because you haven't talked to that person.
Exactly. I think
he
it's
could be the happiest person and tell you how comfortable all this makes him and how he's living his best life. And you'd be like, wow, I'm feeling him. And start seeing that perspective.
Maybe. You're right. Maybe. But I highly doubt it. Because it's just not your flavor. I've already heard your goals. But maybe someone can talk you into those ones. All right, we have to throw it back to these guys. I think we really went on a, deep conversation there. All right, guys, it's your turn.
Wow, that was just about a 5-year plan.
Yeah, but that's okay.
All right.
All right, guys, we're throwing it back to you. Let's read the question one more time. What does your 5-year plan look like? All right, guys, you know what to do. Drop a comment down below. All right, so we're moving on to the last question.
Yeah.
It's me, right?
Yeah.
If you had to switch places with another person, who would you choose and why?
If I had to switch places with another person, who would I choose and why? Switch places with another person?
Yeah, just like switch places. Like you're gonna be in their shoes for however long. But just to get a glimpse of what that's like. Who would it be? Who's interesting to you? Whose lives are interesting to you?
Yeah, but they're gonna come here and live me?
I don't know if you have to worry
How does
about
that work? If you had to switch places with another person,
do.
who would you choose and why? I think this can be looked at different ways, because what if I switch them with like somebody close so I could see me from their perspective? So it's like a direct, like if I swap with you, if I trade places with you and I had to interact with me from your perspective, is that what that is?
No, you can switch.
How would that be?
You can switch places with anybody.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is a question that can go anywhere.
Okay.
Because you could say, I want to switch places with somebody who has to interact with me, so I can see myself. No? You would never look at it from that perspective?
Yeah, you can absolutely look at it from that perspective.
Okay. If I swap places with you, would I be, like, how does that work? Who am I interacting with? You? In my body?
I think you should just talk about...
No, this is where I'm going with this. Work with me.
That's why I think you should ask the question differently to yourself. I think...
You can't. That's a valid question.
It is a valid question,
It's a valid response.
Yes, it is a valid response.
You're taking it as, you're gonna go live the life of a celeb and see what it's like for a day.
It doesn't have to be a celeb.
Who would it be?
It could be anybody. It could be...
Give me your go-to.
Okay, it could be the people that work at one of your favorite restaurants that you've been to. Like, what's it like for them? Making that delicious food. It could be another vlogger.
Switch places with another person. Who would you choose and why? I might take somebody who does like some crazy sport.
I'm gonna take somebody who's able to sleep all day and gets pampered. Who would that be?
Oh, that's a good one too. You see, there's so many options
yeah,
here.
but who
we haven't
gets
dropped
that?
a name yet.
No.
Because I would love to see what it's like to experience driving a Formula One car.
That'd be so cool. I can totally
Like
see you
to
enjoying
drive
that.
when you see the camera on those things, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So to be able to experience that, like, holy, how insane. But there's so many different sports like that.
Yeah.
Or like you're saying, what about someone who just gets chill and gets like catered to? A king, a prince. Why would I switch places? Like seriously, these people
Yes. And eat good food all day.
Yes, it's just available to you.
And lounge in a
Like,
really
people-
nice spot. Like you're on like where you live in the
That's
resort.
so far from reality that
Is
they don't even well no, for most people that's not something they would think about.
I'm thinking
But-
about it. It's what I want.
There's like people out there living this insane dream life, but can you name it to swap places with that person?
No. No.
Google
I
it.
can't I can't pinpoint a name. I just know how I want to live.
Because they're not public.
Well, there you go. Sometimes
just
it's nice
live
to
their
just
own
be private.
quiet life.
Yes. That's
Okay,
funny.
swap pill. So we haven't said, if you had to switch places with another person, who would you choose and why? Okay, I don't know that I'd want to see me, so I'd probably pick somebody who's so far out of my reality that I wouldn't have to interact with them being me.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, oh my gosh, this is hard for me.
Yeah, it's like hard to pick a name.
That's what it is. It's easy to say a person who experiences this life, but
Yeah.
I don't know who that person is. Gosh, it's gotta be... Okay, I'm going with Mark Wahlberg because I recently saw a post on Instagram that said, hey, this is Mark Wahlberg's house.
Fair, yeah.
I don't know if it's actually his house, but the house they showed was insane.
Guys, it was like a castle.
Like, it wasn't, it was like a compound. So I can only imagine what it would be like to live there.
Right.
I get to put a name to it because they put a name to it. Whether or not it's true, I haven't done the research.
Right.
It was just a post on Instagram. And that's the kind of, if that's where you live, that's the lifestyle you have.
That's
When
amazing.
they show the pictures of this place, yeah, you're getting catered to. You are taken care of.
Yeah.
You say it and it's done.
It's so true. How awesome would that be to have that life?
I'm just making assumptions. That's what I picture it. I would have to swap places to find out. Then I would come back and let you know what it was really like if we're allowed to switch back. Switch places with another person doesn't say for what length of time. Is this permanent? All right, I still pick that.
Oh my goodness. So for me, I have no idea. I really don't have an idea. Because I'm trying to think, who's living life so calmly right
That's just it. Like, that's an important part. There shouldn't be any stress involved. We're gonna have to lose that. I want to just chill. Do what I want when I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Get what I want when I want it. Just freedom, ultimately.
Yes.
And comfort.
I really don't know.
Babe.
I really don't know.
Yeah, because sometimes I think of these people who I know would be very well off and be able to have that lifestyle, but they're so busy and so involved in projects and things. Like, I don't want to work.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to experience that part.
I want to retire.
So when we're switching places with them, do I have to take on their job?
Yeah.
Or am I just living life through their eyes, or all of a sudden I'm in their spot now? I gotta take on that role.
No, I think it's like boom, you're in their spot.
Yeah, I still have the same answer.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make some changes if I have to.
No, seriously, guys, I really don't know.
I'm disappointed.
Don't do that. I really don't know.
Okay.
Maybe Oprah, because she's retired.
At least you dropped a name.
Oprah.
She still works. I don't think she ever stops.
But she can go days with just massages all day and eating good food, so.
It's one of those things where
Oprah.
you know she could just step back. So even if you did swap places, now I'm Oprah.
Yeah,
Oprah,
like,
we're done. We're good.
She tells her executive assistant team, take me out for the whole month of June.
Yeah,
I'm going in the botanical gardens.
Yeah,
and think about it, like, it ain't gonna be no small thing. It's gonna be beautiful, and you just find yourself when you're there. So she has the power to do that. I want to be in Oprah's place.
Switch places with Oprah.
Yes.
She's gonna be the mother to your kids.
They'd have a great life. She may not even need to see them.
Yeah, same here.
so many nannies.
So many nannies.
She just does a FaceTime, and it's high quality. It's as if you're there. No, I'm joking. She would totally be involved, but those kids will have like stellar care, let me tell you. I'm just saying. All right, guys, that was a fun question, but we're throwing it back to you. Let's read the question one more time.
If you had to switch places with another person, who would you choose and why?
All right, guys, you know what to do. Drop a comment down below.
I would love to hear the answers to this question.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, we went into different layers of the conversation, and that's what these cards are designed to do, prompt those conversations. So I really like that. All right, guys, that was Date Night Conversations, episode 39.
Yeah, I can't believe we're at 39 already.
Yeah.
Guys, we love the interaction. We'd love to hear your responses to these questions.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.